In this video, we're going to cover how to use a micropipette. Seen here, a micropipette is good for pipetting small amounts of a liquid. On the top of every pipette, you have a range. You can see here, this is from 20 to 200 microliters. And the side of every pipette, you have numbers. These numbers correspond to how many microliters you're actually pipetting. You can adjust the numbers by rotating these dials on the side. So here, for example, I would be pipetting, we're at a pipette, 193 microliters. Now, in order to actually go ahead and pipette, we actually need to use one of these little pipette tips here. So the way to load a pipette tip is to take this plastic tip of the micropipette and... Sorry, I actually used the wrong size micropipette for the earlier half of this video. So that just goes to show you to remember to always use the proper size and check your metrics beforehand. Anyway, so the way you load a micropipette is by pushing the tip of the piece into the pipette gently and pulling it out like this. Close the box afterwards so you don't get dust or any particles into that. Now that I've got my pipette like this, effectively what I want to do is I want to go ahead, hold the pipette like this, pretend there's a solution here. Actually, let me get a solution, I'll be right back. There, now we have some water. So the way I'm going to use the pipette is by inserting the tip into the water and pushing down on this until there's a little bit of resistance. Then I'm going to, while it's still in the water, release, and that suction is going to pull water into the pipette tip. Now, I can actually go ahead and put this into the vial where I want, and now I'm going to push down. Now notice here I stop when I get some resistance, but if I push farther, I can actually get a little bit more water out of the pipette. Now that extra bit of force, you see here, let me show you again, there's this part here, that's the range in which you load the pipette, but to unload the pipette, you push a little farther, and that ensures you get everything out from the tip. So, just some advice. Be sure that when you're loading or filling up the pipette, you only push down this far and then release. But when you're unloading, you really want to go all the way. One last thing. Once you're done, you can actually remove the pipette tip just by pressing this down here, which is going to force this little metal piece down, which will eject the tip, as you can see here. Be sure to dispose of the tip properly, particularly if it's been in a solution containing nanoparticles.